What's up, everybody? My name is Sabir Muhammad. If you don't know me, I go by Chosen One Athletics on Instagram. And today, I wanted to bring my first real informational video. And I took a little bit of time to make this thing happen. And I really wanted to brainstorm it and make sure I did justice to you guys and gave you guys some good information. So let's get right into it. But today, I wanted to talk to you about the 5 tips / mistakes that I made as a beginner when it comes to building muscle, bodybuilding, whatever you want to call it. So, first thing, I always people gave me the excuse, and they always tried to tell me the reason I wasn't getting big was because of my genetics. That's the number one fucking thing I hear. And I hate that. I really hate it. Because me, as a small guy, I was always like, no, I'm not going to fucking accept that, okay? And you always, you hear that so often from so many people, right? And the fact of the matter is that, yes, okay, I'm a guy who's naturally skinnier. I graduated high school at 135, 137 pounds. Went to college. I think I was 138 pounds my freshman year of college. But that didn't keep me from building muscle, okay? Yes, maybe I had to change things up. I have to change things up because I'm naturally leaner. I have to do less cardio, or I have to eat maybe more food. But it doesn't matter if my genetic makeup makes me, burn more calories, or maybe my metabolism is just very high. Actually, I think that works in my favor, especially when you're trying to build muscle. Because how many people do we see that are trying to build muscle and get really, really fat and sloppy? And it's like, for me, I haven't seen that yet where I go too far into the fat. So for me, it works out good. It's really easy for me to cut. I usually don't even really have to work too hard as far as cutting my food down. And when it comes to building muscle, like I said, yeah, you gotta work a little harder. But the reality of it is, anybody who's trying to build a crazy quality body, whether that's for the beach, that's for the competition, no matter who you are, you have to work hard regardless. So, and really, when people give that excuse of genetics, it's just a way of saying, I'm not willing to work hard enough to get the results that I want. That's what it really comes down to. And you just gotta realize, like, bro, you can fucking do it, okay? And I guess this is really the 5 tips, really, for those people who we do consider ourselves hard gainers, right? Or we did at some point. And now I understand that's not a real fucking thing. It's hard for everybody to gain a certain amount of muscle. Yeah, there's some guys who are, I know a guy in high school. This guy, he looks like he could be a physique competitor already. He has a solid amount of muscle. But if you were to go lift weights with him, he'd be very weak compared to how he looks, right? And that's not a knock on him. It's just to say that some people are just born with more muscle. Some people are just born looking a certain way, but that shouldn't stop you from wanting to go hard and go harder, because everybody has to do it. Whether you, like I said, whether you want to be on a stage or you just want to be the best looking person at your high school reunion. Y'all like, nah, fuck that, fuck a high school reunion. That's coming up. Y'all better get ready. Because I'm going to be the best looking one there. Anyway, number 2, simply just not eating enough, man. That is so underrated, okay? A lot of beginners, as we get into lifting weight, and I still consider myself a beginner because I've actually only had like 3 to 4 months of actual coaching from a bodybuilder. So I'm still a fucking beginner, right? But so these are my problems. These are our problems, and here's how we can get over them. But just not eating enough, like, we don't realize like how much food you actually have to eat in order to get big. like, bro, it's gonna be uncomfortable. Anything in life, as everybody always says, anything in life worth getting is gonna be fucking hard. It's gonna be challenging. And building muscle is no exception. Like, you have to eat a lot of food. When I say eat a lot of food, I don't mean you go to McDonald's and eat a lot of McDonald's and Burger King. And I had a guy who was helping me out with coaching, and shout out to him because I really liked his coaching. I really had loved the ideas behind it. But he told me that it didn't matter what type of foods I was eating, right? Like, as long as I'm hitting my macros, it didn't matter. That's not fucking true at all, okay? So when you are trying to build quality muscle, bro, you have to eat quality foods. And yes, because, especially if you're in this category with me, you're considered a hard gainer or we have a faster metabolism. Yeah, you might have to put in a little bit extra every now and then. But 90 to 95% of your food should be good quality food. Right now, 98% of my food is fucking clean. I'm talking about chicken, a lot of rice, eggs, oatmeal or oat milk, rice milk, vegetables, a lot of vegetables. Now I'm throwing in a lot of vegetables. I'll actually talk about that. I'm gonna create more videos. I'm gonna have a lot of content for you guys, but I'm really gonna dive into what you actually need to eat. But like I said, just you gotta understand, like, yo, when you eat, you're actually gonna get uncomfortable. And if you have a problem with eating, I was just thinking about this shit the other day, bro. Like, what you do is for like a week, you force yourself to eat, all right? I don't care if you got the biggest fucking plate in the world. If it's sitting in front of you, you tell yourself, I'm not gonna get up until I'm done eating this food. And don't get up, don't move until you eat all that food. What's gonna happen is it's gonna be uncomfortable. You're like, bruh, I feel like I gotta throw up. Like the other day, bro, I went to bed feeling like I gotta throw up. But what happens is after you do that for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, then you get really hungry and it's like, bro, I gotta eat. What the fuck? Where's the food? Like right now, I'm actually hungry. So I'm about to make this video quick. That's my second tip. Number 3, lack of understanding macros. I keep getting up because I gotta make sure my camera's recording because iPhone storage is fucking trash, all right? I don't care. I swear I thought I had 100 gigs. I don't know what the fuck I got. I buy 100 and I start off with 30. But lack of understanding macros. What are your macros? If you're looking at me right now like macros, what is a macro? Macro. I think I'm gonna slow that down, but if I don't, it's just gonna be really fucking awkward. Macro stands short for macronutrients, okay? What are your macronutrients? The main ones we're gonna talk about: proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. And you have to understand these three components, all right? So proteins, you gotta understand why the proteins are important. Of course, the proteins are important for rebuilding the muscle, building the muscle tissue, it's fucking protein. You fucking need it, right? Everybody knows you need protein. But the other thing people forget about is the carbs, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is really what fuels the body. That's really what gets you big, okay? Yes, the protein is there that builds the muscle. You need it, it's essential. But the protein without the carbohydrates, it don't work. You're gonna be really lean. You're gonna build really lean tissue. You're gonna be nice. You're gonna be ripped. But if you wanna be massive, you wanna be fucking juicy, you're gonna be big, you're gonna be swole, proteins without the carbs, you're super lean. Like, you're gonna look good, you're gonna be lean, but you're not gonna build a lot of size. You're just not gonna get big. You're not gonna get big. It's gonna be tough. Unless you like really eat a whole lot of fats, which not until recently I've heard somebody actually do it. It's basically on kind of like a keto diet, which, everybody has their thing. I wouldn't recommend it. But in normal circumstances, you're just not gonna build muscle without the carbs. All right, carbs are, like I said, the body's fuel. That's what gets you big. That, like me, like I could show y'all a picture of how I look in the morning versus how I look after I've had all my meals with carbs, and you be like, God damn, bro, you got big as hell. Like it could be a picture from morning until night, and you would think like there was a week or two in between it. Like it makes that much of a difference. When it comes to fats, fats are important for the body functioning properly. All right, you want healthy fats. Really, you don't have to have a lot of fats. According to the research I've done, really just enough for your body to function properly. That's what I'm going with right now. Like I said, I don't really like to get into any fads or anything like that. So I just like to, have a good amount of fats. And really, that's what my coach put me on. So that's what it comes down to. And if you're missing the fats, sure, you could get those calories from the carbs and the protein, but like I said, the fats are required for just normal bodily functions. All right, nutrients in general. So that's why you really just want to make sure you understand all the nutrients and why they're important. And there was a time, especially as I was a beginner, I really didn't want to think about all that, And I was like, man, I know one day I'm going to have to learn it. I know I'm going to really have to buckle down. But I just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it to the side. And the crazy thing is, it's not until this last year where I actually started tracking all my nutrients. Because I started working with a coach. And I'm telling you, I'm like, and you guys have probably witnessed it on my Instagram if you follow me on Instagram. And you've probably noticed, you're like, golly, you got big in the last year, and it looks pretty lean compared to what your big was before. And that's because, bro, when you eat the right foods, it feels like a fucking steroid, because I've never just tracked everything, and when you hit everything on a nail, you're like, bro, why would I stop? I am unstoppable. Y'all know that. No, but for real, it's fucking crazy. So that's understanding your macros, okay? 4, work out too much. Oh, this one is so fucking underrated. A lot of people work out too much, okay? I worked out too much, especially when I got started, because I was like, man, I want to get big. I'm motivated. Yo, let's go. Boom, I'm about to be the biggest motherfucker in here, you know what I'm saying? I'm lifting weights all the time. Boom, 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 boom. There's a point I'm training twice a day, which now, mind you, look, everybody has different philosophies, okay? Right now, I only train 5. I train 5 to 6 days, mainly 6, sometimes 5, depending on how my body's feeling. I don't go no longer than an hour and a half. Really, if I get in an hour 15, that's my sweet spot. I can get in, get out, because when you're just in there, just pounding, you're not giving your body no rest. You're not recovering. You gotta understand what the muscle building process is, okay? When you actually train, when you actually lift weight, if I'm lifting weights, my biceps are working, what's happened is there are very, very microscopic tears going on in my bicep tendon, all right? My body is it's just tearing. It's slowly breaking itself down because I'm working. And if you think about it, you think of it like a house, all right? It's like you're destroying a house. You know when they destroy an old house so that they can bring in new materials and build a whole new house, all right? Or when they renovate the kitchen. They fucking tear the kitchen apart. My boy's up. Now, come on, Jaden. So you're tearing the body down so that you can rebuild it.
Come on. You see me? Come here. Up. Come on. You want some meat?
He did not. He was supposed to eat, but he fell asleep. Alright, anyway. See? Daddy did this. Mama's working. So, but if you're just only tearing the body down, then it's not going to build up properly. Alright? Because, like I said, you're breaking that body down, so you got to replenish. And how do you replenish it? You replenish it through sleep, rest, um, recovery, eating. The food is rebuilding it. The sleep is rebuilding it. So yes, if you're just training, you're training 2 hours a day, sometimes twice a day, it's going to be hard for you to rebuild. Now, yes, there are athletes. There are athletes that do it, okay? And those athletes also take proper measurements, proper precautions. A lot of those athletes, especially if they're pro, they don't have a regular job. So they're going home, they can take naps. And the last thing is consistency, man. Consistency. It sounds cliche, but clearly, obviously, anything in life, man, you gotta be consistent, you know? Excuse me. If you check all 4 of those other things, all right, which I'm gonna put up on the screen, or which should be up on the screen. And the last thing is consistency. That's my 5th issue that I had. You know, just being consistent, because everybody loves to train, or at least I did. I do. I love to train. I love to work out. That's easy. That's super easy. But being consistent with your food, that's the tough part. I've always been consistent in the gym. Every year I might take a month off, and even when I take a month off, I'm usually working out 3 times a week in that month off. And other than that, year round, I'm either 5, 6, for a short period of time, sometimes 7 days. So just being consistent, man, with the food, training, the sleep, your intensity, everything, you know. And I think that if you all, you know, especially those who are beginners, or maybe you've been training for a while and you still just feel a little bit lost, or maybe you just forgot, you know, these are definitely 5 issues that I had. And if you can check those issues, you're gonna see a lot of results. And just to recap it, you know, that was 1, don't let genetics be a factor in your mind. Not at our level. Now, if you're on a pro level, if you're a top pro, Jaden's trying to figure out who I'm talking to. If you're a top pro specifically, you know, that's when you can talk about genetics, because those guys are pushing. They're pushing the tempo. They're already, they're a lot closer to their genetic, capacity than you or I would be. We shouldn't even be talking about genetics yet. Most people talking about genetics haven't even worked hard enough, long enough for it to even be something they can consider. 2, eating enough. Fix that. 3, understand your macros. Learn the macros. Take a couple minutes. Just watch some YouTube videos, man. If you don't like to read books, watch YouTube videos. I do this shit all the time. 4, stop training too much, all right? Keep that same intensity when you do train, but stop training too much, and actually you'll realize, like, yo, I feel better when I give this body part a break. And actually, that's one thing about training too much I didn't mention. Some people maybe only train 5 days a week, only train 4 days a week, maybe you only train 3 days a week, but you hit the same muscle groups every time. Don't do that either, okay? And like I said, I'll have a lot more videos to come, guys. And finally, consistency. Be consistent. I got a lot more content coming. I hope you loved this video. If you did, great. Give it a fucking thumbs up, okay? Also, I dropped a PDF on it, which is going to go to the link that I'm going to include, because at the time I'm recording this, I've actually not created the link yet. I've already written the PDF out for people who like to read. You want to see what I said, pretty much. You want to read what I said, then it's going to be written for you. And also, just check out my Instagram for more Instagram posts, pictures, motivation, videos, and feel free to DM me on Instagram, man. DM me, comment, yo. Every now and then when I get people that DM or comment me, like I love it because it like a lot of times it's just something that either somebody's teaching me something or they're just validating something that I do and just appreciating what I do because I do this shit for free, Clearly I got my son, and I'm a car salesman by trade right now, but I just enjoy it and I want to help the people, so. Jaden, you gotta say something? Say peace. Say peace. Jaden, say bye.
Bye.
Wave, say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, all done. Oh.